hopefully we'll get some answers going forward. Next, there's a lot of more items that the Senate needs that the forensic team asked for. President Fan is going to address that with the county, and hopefully they'll come to the table and we can resolve these issues. If not, they want to play hardball. Well, okay, you want to play hardball. President Fan is the diplomat. I'm the warrior. I have 3 rules around here that I let everybody know where I stood. My rules are this. Rule number 1, when I ask for cooperation, I only ask once. Rule number 2, don't start a war with a warrior. Rule number 3, revert to number 1. We are not going to let this go. Surrender is not in our creed. We're going to stay focused. We're going to stay vigilant. We're going to stay strong, and we're going to stay motivated, and we're going to get this thing done one way or another. And I have another tool in the toolbox that I'm going to play, but I'm waiting for President Fan to do what she needs to do, and then I have a wrecking ball, and hopefully the Attorney General will help me swing it.
Arizona Republican Senator Wendy Rogers calls for a new election after the Arizona audit drops bombshells that have shocked and rocked Republicans and Democrats everywhere. Hello everyone, this is Mr. Obvious, and today on the internet, we've got a lot to talk about, folks. Right now, the Arizona Senate is holding several hearings for Maricopa County regarding the Cyber Ninjas Group's audit on the presidential election. Now, because we live in an age of censorship and communism and corporate overlords, there's only so much that I can tell you about these things, so I'm going to be very careful with my words. But to put it simply, the results of this audit are absolutely shocking. We're also going to talk about Congressional Black Caucus Chairwoman Joyce Betty, who was arrested after storming the Capitol building after she marched in with a mass of angry protesters demanding that the Senate pass the For the People Act. Now we're going to talk about all of that and more, but before we do, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so that you get updates for more content. And share this video. Sharing this video is the most important thing you can do in order to fight back against big tech suppression and censorship. And now, a quick word back. Now, unfortunately, I cannot tell you everything that has happened in this audit. Many mainstream social media websites like YouTube or Facebook and Twitter are communists. So I'm going to jump over to Newsweek. Arizona Republican Senator Wendy Rogers is calling for a new 2020 presidential election in her state, demanding that officials decertify the election that took place in November. Rogers, who has been a public proponent of Arizona's multiple election audit efforts, took to Twitter Thursday to voice her opinion that following the updates from an election audit many believe to be without merit, if Arizona is to get this right, a new election must take place. Okay. Personally, I think this is a little bit unrealistic. Right now, we should focus on getting results from these audits. Now, here's what really bothered me. Maricopa County was trending on Twitter, and here you can see in the following screenshot, Twitter posted this. Politics, trending. There is no evidence of widespread fraud in Maricopa County's 2020 presidential election results, according to USA Today, AP, and factcheck.org. And you can see that it's trending with 94,000 tweets. I have a very, very big problem with this. If anything, this is nothing but sheer propaganda. This was trending because Maricopa County was having an Arizona Senate hearing where the Arizona audit was presenting some of its findings, including testimony from key individuals. I'm going to go over one of the biggest claims from this. Should be fine. I'm going to roll the clip.
So, for example, we have 74,243 mail-in ballots where there is no clear record of them being sent. And just to be clear, here in the state of Arizona, there's EV32s and EV33s. EV32s is supposed to give a record of when a mail-in ballot is sent, and an EV33 is supposed to give a record of when the mail-in ballot is received. And so there should be an equal, there should be more EV32s, more sent out than there are that are received. Specifically with these, we can tie them to a specific individual that was mailed to. And so we have 74,000 where we have them came back from individuals where we don't have a clear indication that they were ever sent out to them. That could be something where documentation wasn't done right. There was a clerical issue. There's not proper things there. But I think when we've got 74,000, it's, it merits, knocking on a door and validating some of this information.
So as you can see in the following clip, it's pretty simple. They have over 74,000 ballots, mail-in ballots specifically, where there is no proof that the person who signed the ballot, the person who voted, actually received the ballot in the first place. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that there was any foul play. I know a lot of people are throwing around the word fraud or cheating or stuff like that, but it could also be a clerical error. However, this is what's very important to remember. The Arizona race was decided by 10,457 votes. That is an extremely slim margin. Now, it's possible that these people received their ballots, they voted on those ballots, and then they mailed them in. However, it's also possible that these people who supposedly voted never actually got the ballot, meaning it could not have been them who filled out those ballots. And as the man says, this means that it's probably a good idea to knock on some doors and ask people, hey, did you fill out this ballot? Did you vote? It's really that simple. In other news, now this made me laugh when I saw it. Congressional Black Caucus Chairwoman Joyce Betty is arrested in the Senate. So Joyce basically stormed the Capitol Senate, stormed the Capitol building with a mob of protesters who were angry. They chanted, quote, fight for justice, and, quote, in the filibuster. Now, I want to make something clear. When you barge into a Capitol building and you demand that a bill gets passed, you, my friend, are not a protester. You are a belligerent, trying to use force and intimidation to get what you want. This brings us to a little survey that I wanted to talk about. You probably heard about this survey because it really shocked a lot of people. But here on the Daily Mail, 2 in 3 Republicans in the South support seceding from the United States, while almost half of Democrats out west say the same thing. So I saw some people talking about this survey, but they did not point out just how bad it actually is. Half of Western Democrats support secession. We are so polarized in America. And Republicans and conservatives may as well live in different universes, that at this point, more and more people literally want to split and start their own countries. Maybe America would be Democrats since they have power right now, and New America would be Republicans. You'd probably have Texas as the new capital. It would be very interesting, to say the least. They did this in other areas, and pretty much you got 1/3 of Americans saying that they are pro-secession. So you can see in this picture here, it basically shows just how many Americans want to secede from the Union. Overall, it's around 35 to 40%. That is insane. Over 1/3 of America wants to secede. Pacific is 39%, the mountain region is 32%, the heartland is 30%, the northeast is 34%, and the south is 44%. Wow. I believe all of this is simply a glimpse of what's to come. More chaos, more division, and more insanity. But that, my friends, is merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks.